is there. Good
Ufuk,
afternoon, Ufuk. How
Good
are you?
afternoon. Hello. Fine, thank you. And you? Sorry
I'm doing
to be
well.
late.
nice to meet you, Ufuk.
Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I think I have everyone here. I want to welcome you to the PEGA course. It's Technical Development Solutions is what we call it. We will be focusing on the PEGA business component of the program, the PEGA technology, and we will be focusing on the system architect. Our expectation for you is that you will get certified in both of these disciplines. You will get professional certifications along with this class because there is a lot of generative AI already built in the PEGA, 13 new features. You also will be learning some AI prompting, some AI concepts, so you'll understand the difference between predictive AI, generative AI, and how those are built into the technology. At the end of this class, we expect you to get 2 professional certifications. We expect you to earn 6 PEGA badges, digital badges, and we expect you to get 4 AI certificates out of this class. So we're going to challenge you, but we want you guys to work with us. We have the whole semester, the next 10 to 12 weeks to do it. I also want to share with you, we just had our interns go through this program. And one of our interns, she was able to complete the 2 professional certifications with the same course curriculum. She was also able to get the AI certificates, the 4 AI certificates, and she got the 6 digital badges in PEGA. So we're expecting the same thing from you guys. So let's go ahead and move forward. Okay, so this is our schedule for today. I will, in most cases, try to have localization in Spanish when I can, and you'll also see the English. That will also be the same when we go through our course materials. Sometimes we'll have the localization for you, probably 80% of the time, about 20% of the time, we probably will not. So you'll have to learn your English. So what we want to do this morning, we'll start with introductions. I've already talked a little bit about our company, but we'll spend the first 10 minutes talking about ourselves, and my partner, he's on also, will introduce himself. Next, we'll have Jose Luis. He will then give us a little bit of introduction and welcome from the university. And then we'll go to the students. Students, we want you to tell us who you are going forward.
Perfect.
After that, we'll take about a 10-minute break. And then I'll come back and give you 30 more minutes about what the class is all about, what you should expect, give you some Q&A at the end, and then what the next steps will be. So let's go to the next slide. I want you to meet our team. My name is Daryl Dunnington. I am the Global Learning Director of DSD Inc. We're located in Dallas, Texas, actually a little small town outside of Dallas, but most people know where Dallas-Fort Worth is. I am a PEGA accredited trainer. I've been with PEGA for 14 years. I am also a certified PEGA senior system architect. In the PEGA ecosystem, you go from business architect to system architect to senior system architect to lead system architect, which is what my buddy Ufuk is. But I have 14 years of experience, and that experience has come from being an instructor for PEGA. I was also a former director of their technical curriculum. I used to write all of their curriculum for them that they would teach across the globe. I was also responsible for the PEGA trainer program for the PEGA partners that they would get certified to teach. And also I was part of the leadership team for the university academic program where I met ITSM. Jose and I, we've been working together for probably over 7 years now. So this is not our first time meeting and working together. So we are glad to be back together. At this time, I'll turn it over to my partner. He is in Switzerland. works in Germany, and he's Turkish. So he speaks several languages. He probably speaks some Spanish also.
Wow.
So Ufuk, I'll turn it over to you. Give us an introduction, anything you like to say. Make sure you turn yours
Thank you.
unmute. Yes.
Now you can hear me. Huh?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you, Daryl, for the introduction, and welcome also from my side. It will be a fun, I hope, to work together. I'm lead system architect, Pega lead system architect. Have now more than 10 years. I'm more than 10 years in this subject, Pega system, and experience working in projects now in Switzerland and Germany with big clients, bankings, mostly also insurance, and the amount of the experts, it's not so high. So that's why this is a good opportunity for you to get in this business very fast, and also they're looking always for new employers. So, and yeah, I'm born in Germany. I'm from Munich, living in Switzerland, Zurich. My parents are from Turkey. I lived just 1 year in Spain, Madrid, but has been now 20 years, so my Spanish is not so that good. But still I can understand a little bit. And yeah, that's it from my side. I will lead the technical parts when we coming to the project parts. Maybe not full time, but I will try to get as much as possible.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, Ufuk. So just so you guys know, he is a lead system architect. That's what we all aspire to be. He works day in and day out with big companies building solutions in this Pega technology. As he mentioned, I do the majority of the lecture. He does the majority of the project. So that's how we break up what we do for the class to make sure that you get the best of both worlds. I spent 14 years writing curriculum, teaching people how to learn the technology. So that's my expertise. Ufuk has spent 14 years working on building solution, having hands-on understanding the methodology. And so we bring those two experiences together, we marry those together, so you get the ultimate experience in learning the Pega technology. All right, so now let's go to the next slide. I wanted to turn it over to Jose Luis, my friend and partner. And so if you would go ahead and do your introductions of yourself, I think you have the director here, if she's here, do that introduction, and we turn it over to you. Unmute your phone, please.
Yes.
Unmute your, there we go.
Perfect. Okay, thanks, Daryl. Thanks, Ufuk. I really want to say that I appreciate your help. As I told you before, we were working for almost 7 years, so we are more than a friends, so we are brothers, no?
Absolutely.
So I appreciate all your help all of this time. So I want to say thank you very much for this amazing course. So I would like to say that here is my boss, is Saul Reyes. I would like to say that please say welcome to all the people that are here. So, Saúl, quisiera pedirte que pudieras dar la bienvenida a este curso. No sé si estás por ahí. Para que dieras un mensaje breve, pues a los estudiantes que están aquí conectados. También está conectada la maestra Daniela. Y bueno, hay alrededor de 21 estudiantes de séptimo semestre. Y bueno, pues como ya vistes al inicio de la presentación, pues Daryl y Ufuk, quienes se conectan de Estados Unidos y de Alemania, pues nos van a dar este curso por casi 2 meses y medio más o menos. Por favor, si puedes decir, y nosotros acá lo traducimos, por favor.
Sí, claro. ¿Sí me escuchan por ahí?
Sí, yes.
Porque tengo ahí problemas con la cámara porque no la puedo encender, pero
¿Se había encendido ahorita?
¿sí se había encendido? A ver,
Sí, sí, sí. Sí te veías.
¿ahí?
No, ya no. Ya no. Sí
¿No?
se veía, pero ya no. No.
Bueno, tengo ahí unos detallitos con la cámara, pero bueno,
Ok, ahí está ya. Ya te
¿está?
ves.
Ok,
Ya te ves. Sí.
ok.
A ver, go ahead.
Bueno, pues antes que nada, agradecer a todos la participación en esta capacitación, en este curso, ¿verdad? Que a través de la Academia de Ingeniería y Tecnologías de la Información, pues ha trabajado durante muchos años ya y hemos tenido la participación de varios estudiantes, varias generaciones y qué bueno que el día de hoy este grupo de estudiantes se hayan interesado y animado a poder tomar esta capacitación. Agradezco también a los instructores que han tenido a bien poder ayudarnos y dar continuidad a este proyecto, a este trabajo. Muchísimas gracias a ambos a la distancia. Y pues quiero también hacer un énfasis especial a los estudiantes. Hay que aprovechar, creo que todo este tipo de tecnología que tenemos ahora, pues al alcance, aprovechar al máximo la experiencia, aprovechar al máximo los conocimientos que puedan ser transmitidos a través de los instructores, de los maestros, de los ingenieros que nos acompañan el día de hoy y pues aprovechar al máximo, sacar el máximo provecho de esta capacitación y sobre todo que es algo que les va a ayudar a ustedes más adelante a poder eh, encontrar algún empleo, capacitarse en estas tecnologías nuevas y enhorabuena para todos y muchísimas gracias a cada uno por su participación. Esperemos que estos 2 meses que van a tener esta capacitación pues sea de un total éxito y aprovechar al máximo esta experiencia. Pues muchísimas gracias a todos.
Gracias, Saúl. Gracias a todos. Gracias por el apoyo que nos das para con este curso. Y bueno, pues vamos a ahora darle la palabra. La doctora Saxi ya no llegó, ¿verdad?
No la veo, creo que no.
Ok. Bueno, ¿puedes traducir, Richard, por favor?
Were you guys seeing that in English? Were you doing the subtitles in English? Daryl?
No, the subtitles are in Spanish. They only do one way. So
All
you set
right.
it to, yeah.
All right.
Actually,
Well,
yeah.
a good summary of
Okay.
what the engineer Saul said is that they're just happy to have the program in our tech and happy to have the students, the course. I mean, just everything going. And of course, very, very thankful for your participation, providing this class. And just, I mean, really, it's just a really good speech.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much.
Now we are going to present every students.
Okay.
Chavos, sí.
Yeah, if you would give me just a minute, let me pull the next slide up for you.
Okay, perfect.
So that's the introduction. Let me move the.
Nice slide. Ok, chicos, pues es turno de ustedes. Necesito que se vayan presentando conforme van viendo su nombre ahí en la lista y van a decir lo que está apareciendo en pantalla, su nombre, el semestre en el que están, que estudian. Bueno, ahí dice experiencia laboral, pero pueden decir algo muy corto que han programado algún tipo de software y algo interesante sobre ustedes. Algo que sea muy corto. Entonces empezamos con José Juan, por favor.
Sí, ¿se escucha? Mi nombre es José Juan Juárez Martínez. Soy estudiante de 7º semestre de la carrera de Tecnologías de la Información y Comunicaciones. Mi experiencia laboral, pues, Actualmente estoy haciendo un trabajo de tesis sobre una gestión de estacionamiento enfocado en tecnologías con Vue. Y algo interesante sobre Vue, pues me gusta mucho la tecnología, el desarrollo web y bien, muchas gracias.
Jose Juan loves technology, and now he is doing his thesis as a automated process ¿En qué la estás haciendo tesis?
This
¿Mande?
thesis,
¿En qué la estás haciendo, José Juan?
Estoy usando Vue.
¿Pero qué estás haciendo?
Bueno, son las interfaces de una gestión de estacionamiento. Yo me encargo de
Okay,
la parte front.
okay. Jose Juan is doing his thesis, so he is designing a UX and UI interface for a kind of project. Please,
Okay.
Hazel Jiménez.
¿Sí me escucho?
Sí, adelante.
Ok. Bueno, pues mi nombre es Yacel Jiménez Salamanca. Soy estudiante del séptimo semestre de la carrera en Tecnologías de la Información y Comunicación. En experiencia laboral, pues ahorita estoy desarrollando un proyecto de tesis que es una aplicación para mi carnicería, bueno, para mi negocio de una carnicería que está enfocado en el registro de las ventas.
Ok.
Y algo interesante sobre mí, pues que me gusta bastante el desarrollo web y me gusta mucho aprender nuevas cosas.
Okay. Richard, I think Jose Luis had to drop off. Could you help me with the next Joshua? Israel.
a ver, Josué, Israel.
Bueno.
Preséntese, por favor.
¿Me escucha?
Sí.
Bueno, mi nombre es Josué Israel Aparicio Álvarez. Soy estudiante de aquí del TEC, de séptimo semestre. Experiencia como tal no tengo, pero sí estoy trabajando en varios proyectos aquí de la carrera que tiene que ver con programación web.
Richard, ¿le traducimos o él está viendo la traducción del otro lado?
No está viendo la traducción porque solamente va desde inglés hasta español.
Okay. Okay, Israel, he is doing his thesis. He's working in a website.
Okay.
Okay, Jesús Ríos.
Buenos días.
Jesús Ríos.
Soy Jesús Ríos, alumno de la carrera de ITICS de séptimo semestre. Ahorita estoy desarrollando mi tesis con un sistema igual para un estacionamiento en el cual te pueda gestionar, administrar y llevar operaciones a una manera más eficiente. En esta parte yo me estoy encargando de la parte del backend.
Okay.
Apoyándola con lo que es Laravel, base de datos, para llevar una mejor eficiencia en el sistema. Y algo
Okay.
interesante de mí es que me gusta mucho lo que es el desarrollo de las páginas web y
Okay.
trabajar con base de datos.
Okay, Jesús Ríos loves web design. So now he is working on his thesis. He's doing he's automatized parking. He's developing the back end. So he
Okay.
loves technology. Okay. Víctor. Los que pueden inglés, en inglés, ¿eh? Víctor, si estás por ahí.
Buenos días. ¿Me oyen?
Ok, dale. Sí, sí, te escuchamos.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Víctor Eduardo Roque Jiménez. Soy alumno del Instituto Tecnológico Superior de Misantla, de la carrera de ITICS. Experiencia laboral no cuento, pero estoy trabajando en un proyecto de tesis, el cual consiste en una revista digital para las carreras del Instituto Tecnológico Superior de Misantla. Algo
Ok.
interesante sobre mí es que me gusta aprender y pues eso sería todo.
Ok, Víctor Eduardo, he loves learn everything. So now he's doing his thesis on digital magazine here at the Tech. So he loves technology too. Okay, Jose Manuel.
Thank you.
Buenos días. ¿Me escuchan?
Sí, muy bien.
Mi nombre es José Manuel López. Soy estudiante del Instituto Tecnológico Superior de Misantla. Soy alumno del séptimo semestre de la carrera de Tecnología de la Información y Comunicación. En experiencia laboral, bueno, estoy desarrollando en mi tesis una aplicación de escritorio para el control de pagos mensuales de clientes. Algo interesante sobre mí, que me gusta parte de la programación y me gusta parte de lo que son las redes. Y sería todo.
Ok, José Manuel, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Okay, Jose Manuel, he loves everything about the networks, protocols, and everything. So now he's doing a system. He's programming a system for sales for enterprise. Okay, Carol. No, Isela.
¿Me escuchan?
Sí, sí te escuchamos.
Ah,
Adelante.
bueno, pues yo me llamo Isela Molina. Pues como experiencia laboral, pues no tengo, pero pues estoy desarrollando un sitio web que es parte del From y es sobre bueno, más bien es como que poner cursos para niños de secundaria para la materia de biología y estoy en séptimo semestre en el TEC de Misantla.
Isela, she loves. ¿Y qué te gusta?
Pues me gusta pues el desarrollo web.
Okay. Isela loves programming, so now she is doing his thesis on Assistant 2. It's a website to help students to learn more about biology. So now she loves programming. Okay, Carol. Carol, ¿estás ahí?
Sí, ¿se escucha?
Sí, muy bien. Adelante.
Mi nombre es Carol García Hurtado, estudio en el Instituto Tecnológico Superior de Misantla. Como experiencia laboral, pues no tengo una experiencia real, pero en este momento estoy desarrollando un proyecto de tesis que es un videojuego educativo para niños en edad preescolar con problemas auditivos. El juego se centrará en matemáticas precisamente.
Ok. ¿Qué es lo que te gusta? ¿Algo interesante sobre ti?
Me gusta mucho lo que es el frontend.
Ok. Carol, Carol loves programming, especially front end. Now he's doing his thesis on a system to help students from the kindergarten. He's doing a video game to learn math.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. María Fernanda, vamos más rapidito para que.
Sí, ¿me escucho?
Sí.
Ok, me llamo Fernanda Méndez Armenta y no tengo experiencia laboral, pero estoy desarrollando un frontend de un sistema de riego para jardín y algo interesante sobre mí es que me gusta aprender cosas nuevas.
Aprender cosas nuevas.
Sí.
Okay. Okay, Fernanda, he loves to learn new things. So he loves to learn everything. So now he's doing a IoT system for gardens, automatization. So, okay. Ricardo, please. Ricardo Hernández.
Hola, ¿me escucho?
Sí, adelante.
Okay. Yo soy, perdón, actualmente como experiencia tengo el desarrollo de proyectos escolares. Mi tesis trata sobre el desarrollo backend de un e-commerce y me
Okay.
gustaría aprender a ser full stack.
Okay. Ricardo loves programming too. He's He's doing a thesis on a e-commerce. So he's also a student from information technology engineering. He's actually on 7 semesters. Okay, Luis Miguel Candanero. Miguel Cantanero, ¿no está?
Sí, sí que estoy.
Adelante,
Pues,
dale, rápido para que.
buenos días, mi nombre es Luis Miguel Candanedo. Estoy estudiando en séptimo semestre la carrera de Tecnologías de la Información y Comunicaciones. De experiencia laboral, pues no tengo, pero sí he estado desarrollando proyectos de programación, más que nada proyectos de desarrollo web. Y pues algo interesante de mí es que me gusta el desarrollo web y quiero ser un desarrollador full stack. Pues eso es todo.
Perfecto. Eres Luis Miguel, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Okay, Luis Miguel loves programming too. So, ¿y cuál es tu tesis que estás haciendo? Luis Miguel, ¿qué estás haciendo de tesis? ¿O qué estás
Estoy
programando?
desarrollando un gestor de contenido para la página web del CenterTech.
Ah, okay, perfecto. He's doing a website for a initiative here at the Tech. So he loves programming and he also studying information technology and communication engineering. Okay, Ángel Gabriel.
¿Se me escucha?
Sí, adelante.
Mi nombre es Ángel Gabriel Hernández Zapata, soy estudiante de la carrera de Tecnología de la Información y Comunicaciones de séptimo semestre. Me gusta las redes y el desarrollo web en la parte, ahorita como parte de experiencia laboral, pues hemos estado trabajando en proyectos escolares más basados en la parte del desarrollo web y ahorita estoy trabajando en la parte de la tesis en un e-commerce de una papelería en la parte del frontend.
Eres Ángel, ¿verdad? Okay,
Sí.
Ángel, he's working now.
Jose Luis,
Yes.
you don't have to translate it. I was able to figure out how to change the language to Spanish and the captions in English. So now I
Really?
can read what they're saying. Yeah.
Ah,
I
perfect.
didn't know I could do that, but that's good. So
Okay,
now we can
perfect.
switch back and forth. So they can go ahead and
Perfect.
speak in Spanish. I can see it here in English.
Okay, perfect. Ok, ya no lo voy a traducir, entonces, a ver, sigue Ángel Gabriel. Sean breves por el tiempo. ¿Quién sigue? Ah, no, sigue Daniela, ¿verdad? Daniela Valderas. Adelante.
¿Me escucha?
Sí, muy bien, adelante.
Bueno, me llamo Daniela Valderas, estudio el séptimo semestre de la Ingeniería en Tecnologías de la Información y Comunicación y actualmente estoy desarrollando mi tesis, la cual consiste en el diseño y desarrollo del frontend de una aplicación móvil de alertas ciudadanas enfocada en la seguridad y el bienestar de la comunidad de Misantla. Y algo interesante sobre mí es que me gusta mucho aprender las nuevas tendencias y avances de la tecnología. Gracias.
Ok, Daniela, gracias. Adelante, Flor. Flor, ¿estás por ahí?
¿Se me escucha? Sí, 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 ¿se me escucha?
Sí, te escuchamos. Adelante.
Gracias. Mi nombre es Laura Damar Hernández Herrera y actualmente pues estoy en séptimo semestre de la carrera de Ingeniería en Tecnologías de la Información y Comunicaciones. Y bueno, mi experiencia laboral, bueno, como tal no tengo, pero estoy trabajando en mi proyecto de tesis, que es básicamente el desarrollo de un marketplace para artesanos de la comunidad, que en este caso es Misantla, Veracruz, específicamente más para la gestión de inventarios. Y bueno, algo interesante sobre mí es que me gusta mucho aprender y siento que aprendo rápido y también pues me gusta mucho lo que es el diseño de interfaces, todo lo que tiene que ver con eso. Y eso es todo. Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Hola, ¿se escucha?
Yes. Mhm.
Sí.
Hola, mi nombre es Jesús Mora González. Voy en el séptimo semestre de TIC. Estoy realizando mi tesis que trata sobre un sitio web educativo para una secundaria. Me encargo del backend. Me agrada mucho el hardware y el front. Gracias.
Buenos días, ¿se me escucha? Mi nombre es Rommel Raúl Miranda Caballero y soy estudiante del Tecnológico Superior de Misantla. Actualmente estoy trabajando en mi proyecto para mi tesis, que es el desarrollo e implementación de un carrito de compras y pasarela de pagos para un e-commerce de artesanías de aquí de Misantla. Y algo interesante sobre mí es que me gusta el diseño de páginas web. Gracias.
Hola,
Muchas
buenos días.
gracias.
Mi nombre es Milena Aguilar Méndez. Soy estudiante del séptimo semestre de la Ingeniería en Tecnologías de la Información y Comunicaciones. Recientemente tomé un curso básico sobre crear un chatbot y actualmente lo estoy impartiendo a chicas de secundaria y bachillerato, en donde entrenamos un modelo y después lo desarrollamos el código de teclado.
Hola, mi nombre es Fátima Rodríguez Córdoba, soy estudiante del séptimo semestre de la carrera de TIC. Pues como experiencia laboral actualmente no tengo, pero estoy desarrollando en mi proyecto de tesis un sistema para un jardín casero y me estoy eh, enfocando en el backend.
Muchas gracias.
¿Me escuchan?
Así es.
Ok, gracias. Yo soy Jade Tinoco Holanda, soy estudiante del séptimo semestre de la carrera de TICS. En experiencia laboral, pues por el momento no cuento, pero actualmente estoy trabajando en mi proyecto de tesis en la parte backend sobre una aplicación móvil sobre alertas ciudadanas para la comunidad de Misantla.
Es mi turno, ¿verdad? ¿Me escuchan?
Sí.
Hola. Hi, I'm Daniela. My English isn't very good, but I will try it.
Okay.
First, thank you to be here with us. My degree is in computer science. I'm not that, but I'm teacher in some subjects here in the career. And I'm very interested in this bootcamp, and I hope that it will be very useful in my job because I have a special interest in low code, special. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know. I don't know where Jose
Very good.
Luis went.
Very good, Ariel. So
There you go.
everything is presented, introduced. So I think we are ready.
Right. Okay, so that sounds like that's everyone, right?
Yes.
All right, good, good. So I've actually learned now that we can switch back and forth. I thought you just had to set it and it stayed at that. But when I'm talking, I can go and set my language to English and the caption to Spanish. And when they're talking, they can set their language to Spanish if I set mine to English. So I think this is going to work out pretty good. Let's see. All right, so now I've set mine to Spanish, so the captions are in Spanish and you guys can hear me. Again, if everyone can hear me, give me a thumbs up, please.
Pulgar arriba, si todos pueden escucharlo.
There we go. Okay. All right, wonderful. When I look at the schedule, I had us going to like 11 50, so we're running 10 minutes early. If you guys want to, let's go ahead and continue on. We'll just get out early. It won't take us the whole 2 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and move into the next section here. And we'll leave all questions to the end. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever, wait until the very end so you can ask the questions. That'll give me the opportunity to change the closed caption so that it can translate it into English for me. So I'll do the presentations. Hold your questions. We'll have opportunities at the end of the presentation for you to ask questions, and we can change the modes going back and forth. That'll help it move a little bit faster and more fluid. So thank you for attending. Thank you for introducing yourselves to us. We look forward to working with you. As I said before, this program that we are working with you guys on, it's a very exciting program. When I worked for Pega Technology for over 14 years, we had established this program about 8 years ago. And I've worked with people in Europe, university students in Europe, Brazil, Mexico, United States, and Canada. At one time, we had over 3,000 students per year going through the program. And so we're trying to pick this back up at ITSM to make sure that you guys get the opportunity to learn the Pega technology. There are job opportunities all around the world. My partner Ufuk will tell you there's never enough talent of people who are good in Pega. And if you like to travel, if you like to see different parts of the world, if you want to work on exciting technology, Pega is the way to go. This particular course that you will be taking has been tested. As I had mentioned earlier, we tested it inside of our company with our internship program. One student, as I mentioned, went through all of the material. She was very, very dedicated. She was 7th year, just like you, exact same profile. She passed both of the certifications, professional certification with flying colors. We even set her up to take the 3rd certification. She was not successful, but she scored over 60% on that particular test. So even after this program, we want you guys to come back. We'll have another program for you to get you to that next level. But she also accomplished the 8 digital badges that you will be able to acquire. So that means something in the Pega certification arena. And also, artificial intelligence is very important. AI is very important. If you're not learning that outside of the university, you need to find opportunities where you can learn that. So we add that as part of our curriculum. The last 2 weeks, you will be dealing with AI, large language models, AI prompting, so that you can understand that. But we do that because in the Pega platform, there are 13 new features of generative AI that has made the Pega product amazing to use. So we'll make sure we introduce those to you. Now, let's turn to the program. I want to tell you just a little bit about the program. Take me about 30 minutes to talk about this program, what you are to expect. And remember, on Mondays, we have 2 meetings. We have this meeting in the morning, and we'll have a meeting in the afternoon or in the evening. So this is a welcome meeting, give you an overall understanding about the program and how we will proceed for the next 10 to 12 weeks. We call this certification in skill. It's important that you, as a student, to become a professional, not only have the knowledge, but also you need to have the hands-on experience. That's what they pay for. So the first portion of the class, we'll spend the first 6 to 7 weeks. We'll talk about the business design solution. So those sessions will be all about the business unit. How do you work with the business unit? How do you get information from the business units, those people, understand what they're talking about, translate that information into software solutions for them using the Pega technology. So in that first section, we cover a lot of information. A lot of information in Pega is redundant from one class to the next class to the next class. So we start off by telling you everything you need to know. We'll cover 95 certification topics. Now, it's not that many certification topics in BAE. There's only about 60. So we're covering other certification topics to get you ready for that advanced senior system architect level that you have to be at. We'll talk about 13 critical skills. How is Pega technology different than other languages? Some of you may have worked in languages like C++, Python. Those are object-oriented type of languages. That type of knowledge is important because that's what Pega is at the end of the day. It is a development platform that implements object-oriented technology. But you don't write code. It's all about building configurations, being able to configure a component, snap it together, and make it run. And when I talk about Pega technology, it's not small solutions that they're building. They're building enterprise solutions. People who purchase Pega, industries who purchase Pega, they spend millions of dollars on the product. So they're not buying Pega to do small solutions. They're building $10 million solution, $100 million solutions. I worked with Santander in Brazil. They had purchased the Pega technology, over $100 million in technology they were going to spend on building their solutions. I worked with the Turkish airline. They did the same thing. They spent $10 to $20 million on building solutions at the Turkish airline using Pega technology. So we're going to teach you the critical skills. We're going to teach you the essential rules in Pega that you need to know. That's a new term that you will learn about. Think of a rule as a object, if you guys understand object-oriented programming. If not, just think of it as a group of logic. It's a way that we've grouped logic so that it'll carry out a common task. Along with that particular course is the certification. The goal is for you to not only master and understand the technology, but to sit for the certification and pass it the first time. Now, we have up to 3 times to pass it, but we don't want to even go there. We want you to pass it the first time so you can move on into the next phase. And we have learning strategies that help you do that. That intern that I talked about, she passed every one of those certifications that we expected of her the very first time. They will give you 90 minutes to sit for the certification. You can sit for the certification in English or in Spanish. That's your decision. But you get 90 minutes to sit for the certification. Well, she sat for the certification and it only took her 30 minutes. And that's because she was well prepared. We make sure that your skill is deep enough and that your knowledge is thorough enough that you can pass the certification on that first try. The second part of the class is the technical component. Now, the technical component deals more with software development, configuring the rules, writing the solutions, writing the back end so that it can connect to services. You have web services that you're connecting, you have data models that you're setting up. All of that comes into play. So if you have any programming knowledge whatsoever, that becomes very important. But again, remember, you're not writing lines of code. That's what's fascinating about it. You'll use your knowledge about writing lines of code that will help you configure these rules, but it'll give you the opportunity to build a more enterprise stable solution. So we'll cover another 15 advanced topics. And most of those topics will move you into that senior system architect. Our goal or our learning strategy is while we are teaching you the business, we're going to make sure you understand the technical. While you are learning the technical, we want you to understand the senior system architect role that they play. So there will be another 13 critical roles that you'll learn, 10 essential rules of how we really build programs and products and implement those in Pega. Along with that, you'll sit for a certification. A little bit more challenging, this particular certification, a little bit more technical, but we prepare you well. And again, we have different learning assets that will help you. We have AI generated pre-test that we pull from the AI sources on the internet in Pega, and we build a test that simulates the test you'll be taking. And so you'll take this pre-test 3 times just to make sure that you understand the material. So again, we expect you to pass it the first time, but it does take dedication if you want to be successful. Now, let's talk about our schedule. What does the schedule look like? Our days and times. I set up this international time zone schedule because you guys are in Mexico. You're in Central Standard Time. I'm in Dallas, Texas. So that's Central Daylight Time. So that's a different time. I will be going to New York the whole month of October. So that's a little different time for me. And then, of course, UFUC is in Switzerland, and that's its time. So I just want you guys to know that anytime I talk about when we're meeting, it's based upon Mexico City, the Central Standard Time. So any WebEx that I send out, any meetings that I say that we're going to meet, it is Central Standard Time, Mexico time. But I built that so that UFUC and I will understand what that time means to us. How will we implement the class? I had mentioned that earlier that I do the lectures. UFUC will work with you on building the projects. Now, when I am implementing the lectures and many of the other things that we're doing, we are doing exercises, we're doing demos, we're doing a lot of things that I do. We use the mastery of UFUC to come in and say, let's put those together in a larger stage, in a larger project. So our morning sessions that we have, well, let's just look in the middle here. I want to make sure that everyone understands that we meet on Mondays and Thursdays 2 times. Mondays and Thursdays 2 times. We meet at 10 a.m. in the morning for 2 hours or up to 2 hours. Sometimes it doesn't take the 2 hours. I want you to know that. But we set aside those 2 hours as our time to meet. And then we meet in the evening or afternoon at 6 p.m. So after our meeting today, we'll have another meeting at 6 p.m. I'll send another WebEx out and we'll meet and we'll talk more about how to set up Pega and some other things to get started in the class. On Thursday, we meet again at 10 a.m. for up to 2 hours. And then we meet at 7:30, an hour and a half later, and it can be up to 9:30. So on Mondays and Thursdays, we meet 2 times. One time in the morning for up to a 2-hour session, one time in the evening for up to a 2-hour session. And then on Wednesday, we only meet in the evening or afternoon from 6:30 to 8:30, so up to a 2-hour session. So what happens in the morning sessions? In the morning sessions, we will discuss and review individual exercises. So you'll have work that you'll have to do outside of class. So we will answer those questions. We'll talk about that. We'll look at mission challenges. So that's a new term in Pega. If you're doing something in their Pega Academy, their online exercises are called missions. When they want you to do a unit, let's say that you've done a unit on services versus connectors. Well, that whole unit of connectors, you'll do a mission challenge. That's their group product or exercise that you'll do. So we call those mission challenges. I'll talk more about that this evening at our 6 o'clock meeting. Then you'll also use the morning sessions to discuss and review the team projects. And so that's what happens in the morning sessions. The morning sessions, they're all about hands-on learning skills, things of that nature. Now, the reason we do that is because Ufuk, being in Switzerland, he's 7 hours ahead of us as far as time is concerned. So that gives him the evening to work with you guys in the morning. Now you understand why we do that for projects. But the morning projects won't occur until I have the evening session. So typically, if, for instance, we're going to work on a project and there is a particular skill you need to know, the day before in the evening, I'll lecture on that. So I will do a lecture that evening about what you're going to work on that morning. So hopefully you understand that. So the lecture will always come first, and then you'll work on the project that next morning, or you'll be able to work on that. So let's just drop down to the evening session. You'll see, you'll listen to a lot of lectures. I spend a lot of time making sure that you understand what you need to know based upon your learning assets that you are supposed to do. I will walk you through configuring. We'll do lots of demonstrations. It's hands-on. I'll walk you through configurations. How do I create this type of logic or rule or grouping of logic so that it carries out certain actions? Connector connecting to a service, a UI allowing you to hit the enter button and to validate the information. We talk about all of that. And then I spend time helping you prepare for certification. We'll use some of this time to have you sit for the pre-test that you need to do. There are some times where we'll have you go over some of the study guides that we've built for you. So that evening sessions, come ready to listen, participate, and learn about the technology, so that next morning, that next day in the morning, you meet with Ufuk, or when you meet with Ufuk over the next 2 or 3 days, whenever it is, then you'll be able to be ready to work on a greater project. So that's what happens when we meet. But what's happening when we are not meeting? What do you need to do when we are not meeting? These are your daily activities. And I'll tell you more about this as we meet at 6 p.m. But in general, this is what you will do every day. You'll have a schedule that you'll have access to on our OneDrive that you'll be able to log in, and you'll see a list of activities that you need to accomplish for that day. One may be that you need to listen to a video. There are some videos out there. It's a link to YouTube. We've taught this class over and over again. There's great information. I don't need to repeat it. There's great information that's already there. You need to listen to that video. Now, the other thing that we do, if you listen to a video, we typically take it, use our AI tool, and we create what's called a podcast. You guys are familiar with a podcast. But the AI tool takes that video and converts it into two people discussing the details about it. So it's a great way for you to learn. You may be asked in your schedule, one of the activities is to listen to the lesson content or read the lesson content. Any video that we have you listen to, any podcast that's generated off of it, we build a lesson document for you. We give you a summary of what you should have learned. We give you FAQ, questions that you need to be able to recognize and know what the answers are. We point you to other documents that's in Pega Academy that's going to tell you what you need to do and how you need to do certain exercises. Now, for you to prepare for the certification and to understand the skill, we'll have you write a study guide. The study guide is the key to passing the certification. It's being able to say, for this particular asset or entity, say a property or a variable, you guys may be familiar with a variable or an object, then you'll have to be able to know how to define it. Number one. Number two, you have to be able to tell the use case of when to use this particular artifact. When do I use an object versus a class? Number three, you'll have to be able to show me how to navigate to the environment where I can find it and configure it. So those are the three main things. And we take the exam blueprint and we go through each one of the topics you need to master, and you have to answer those three questions for each one of those. It is a lot of work. We expect you to work hard, but the outcome will be the success of passing the certification. So we'll do the study guides, we'll do the pre-test. As I said before, we have AI generated tools now that help us go out to the internet, focus on Pega Academy, focus on all video that's out there, and it builds us a very good test to evaluate your knowledge. Matter of fact, feedback we got from our internship program is that our test was harder than the actual test. So we will definitely prepare you for that. And you'll have to write essays. Expect every week to answer 5 essay questions. So it's going to ask you questions about different technology that you've learned. So you're going to have to write those essay questions so that you understand that particular discipline. We do that because on the certification, they're going to ask you scenario-based questions, not just true and false, but scenario-based questions. And from that, you're going to be able to have to understand what they're asking. And you writing essays is a part of your learning. You will have to complete exercises, and we have different projects that you have to do, that you have to make, that you have to complete. And we have projects. So exercises, projects, demonstrations, all of that's hands-on for you to learn over the next 10 weeks. And then like this particular session, we're capturing it. It's not much about the class that's in it. We're just talking about the setup of the class. But every session will be recorded. We record every session. We take that session, run it through our AI tool, and we create a summary podcast for you to go back and listen to. So all of that to help you really ascertain what you're learning in class and if you're trying to remember something. As a matter of fact, one of the interns said that as she was driving to take the test, she was listening to the podcast over the different topics that we had covered. So that it's an excellent learning tool for you. So that's our schedule. I'll talk more about that later on today at our 6 o'clock meeting, but just know that Mondays, Thursdays, we meet 2 times, Wednesdays, we meet 1 time, and we'll talk about the details. Let's talk about your classroom resources. There are 4 major categories that we provide for you. Number 1, low-code technology. This particular set of courses, Business Architect, remember it focuses on business methodologies, use cases, requirements, specifications, how we do that, how we build a framework for the application from a business perspective. System architect, the more technical, business people build it, technical people implement it, configuring the rules, writing the logic, make it really come alive. So that's the first component that you'll get access to. And we go to Pega Academy to do that. We have some student guides to help you do that, different student guides. So we have more than enough information, but we direct you at what should be done on your weekly schedule. Number two, you have certification. Certifications, it's the business and technical. They go or coincide with the business architect and system architect courses. So throughout the process, as you're going through the courses, we're going to focus on certification information along with your skill. The third category of resources would be your platforms. So we have 3 different platforms for you. So we have more than enough places for you to go out and do what you need to do. In Pega Academy, they will have online exercises. Now they call those challenges, but they're exercises, or they call them mission exercises. So just get used to that name. Challenges equals exercises. That's in Pega Academy. So that's what you'll go. We'll spend time going through the material. You'll work on those exercises. That helps you get used to the platform. Number 2, there's something called Pega Platform, the Community Edition. Sometimes we just need you to do individual projects, individual configurations. You can do that there. You go there. You can create whatever you want to. They lower the security, so they give you the capabilities to do a whole lot more. In Pega Academy, you're more guided in the image. You have to follow their steps. Pega Community Edition, it's open. You can do anything you want to there. So we give you those 2 environments. And then we have the ReadyTech environment. That's where you work out of your projects. So we have your projects that you and Ufuk will work on. Now, he may drop into Community and Pega Academy also, but the project will be built in and worked on in ReadyTech. They call it Access, but that's just the platform that we'll work in. So we'll set that up. You won't get started on your project the first week and maybe not even the second week. But after we get you guys set up and acclimated to Pega Academy and the Community Edition, then we'll group you guys into teams and you guys will work on solutions. And I want to tell you up front, we don't have any answers to your solution. You have to work those out. And that's what Ufuk is really good at. He does it on a daily basis. Whatever your strategy is for implementing your solution, he'll be able to work along with you. Talk about best practices, the best way to do it, what the methodologies are for implementing it in Pega. The fourth and the last is probably the most important because it gives you the guidance of what to do with the other 3. So these are your learning assets. These are all your materials. You'll get access to our OneDrive. So I'll send out another email today. It would give you the link to the OneDrive. That will describe your schedule of activities, URLs, what you should do, how to access all of these different resources. And then again, remember, a portion of this class is dedicated for you to learn AI. AI is very important. If you're going to be in the technology arena, you need to understand AI, basic foundational knowledge, and a little bit more. So let's talk about the material. The material of the learning assets will be on the OneDrive. You'll have access to it. You'll see that some of these are color-coded, but let me just talk about the layout. As an overview, I'll give you a detailed explanation later on today. But it'll give you the day and the date, along with if it's something in orange, that means that you probably need to listen to it, you need to read it, or you need to do it. It's more activity. Something in green, It's definitely a document for you to review. It's a summary of the AI tool that's generated from some content that you need to listen to. Something that's in black, those are your exercises that you have to do. So we'll talk more about that later on today, but you'll get a spreadsheet. It's a schedule, and it tells you what activities you need to complete each day, and it's already laid out for you for the next 10 to 12 weeks. Now, one of those activities might be read a summary document. So here's a summary over some technology that you just read about. Here's a AI generated podcast that you need to listen to. So it gives you a different view of understanding about what you just learned. And it also gives you a mind map. It explodes the learning. This is what you should learn first. So it's a very granular way to look at if I'm doing a particular implementation, what should I do first, second, third, fourth, and then explodes that for you. You will have those types of learning assets on every one of the lessons in Pega for the business architect class and for the system architects class. We've spent hours, many hundreds of hours, maybe even 1,000 hours building this learning assets for you so that you can easily consume and understand the Pega information. And again, at the end of the day, you'll have AWS. That we chose AWS because it is the premier cloud service provider. So you're going to learn a little bit about the cloud, but a lot about their AI components, and you'll get certifications of completion. At the end, we expect you guys to get 4 of those. Low-code technology, business and technical. This is the courses and the certification. They go together, and you'll see that there is a URL we'll look at later on today in our evening session that points you to both of those. You can get to the certification information. Over to the right, you can get to the missions. Those are the exercises and the learning material. And then down at the bottom, you can get to the certification, which is the blueprint and everything you need to know. So it's very condensed and consolidated for you. We don't have to go searching all over the place. One web page will give us everything we need to know, take us to where we need to go and implement those missions and prepare for the certification. As you're going through Pega Academy, you're going to learn these modules. Now, the good thing about Pega Academy, you can change the language to Spanish. For the business architect class, you can change the language to Spanish. So you can do English or Spanish, and you can take the test also in English or Spanish. So that's up to you. When you are going through the content, anything in green, that's information or knowledge that you need to read about. And again, anything in green that you see, we have already created a AI generated podcast for you to listen to also. Some people learn by reading, some people learn by listening. So we've created both of those for you. And in some cases, if it's a unit, we've also created video. Some people learn by looking and listening. So those 3 different modes, we try to make those available for you for learning assets. Anything in orange, you'll see that that is a exercise in Pega Academy that you'll have to do. So they'll have Pega Academy exercises along with videos to help you build the solution if you get stuck. Now, here in the system architect class, it is not in Spanish. So I want you to understand, you will have to go through the material in English, but you can set for the certification in Spanish. So that's a good thing. But they do not have a Spanish version of System Architect. Again, you see the blue or the turquoise, then that's for the content you need to read. The orange, That is for exercises you need to do. Again, anything that's in turquoise, we've already created an AI generated podcast audio for you to listen to. If you see something in purple, that means that that's a big mission. That's a unit that you're doing. So it's multiple content and multiple exercises. So this is a unit that you do. Typically, when you do a unit and complete it, that's where you get your digital badge. You also have student guides. So these are instructor-led student guides. Information about the same online information in a little different formats. It's in PowerPoint slides. So as I mentioned before, you have more than enough information. You won't be lost for trying to read or find information. But our goal is to focus on the right information for the certification and the right information for your skill enablement. So we do that for you. You don't have to figure out what you need to learn. We've already figured it out, but we give you all these resources to help you. We send you to one or the other and say, study this. This will be on the certification, or study this. This is what you need for your skill. Along with that, that's our solution skill guide. So that's a more directed, focused approach. It's saying everything in there will make reference to it because it talks about either certification material or skill material or both of those. So this is our way of optimizing the learning experience, directing you to exactly what you need to know. And then if you want to learn a little bit more, you can go to some of these other resources that are available for you out there. Our platforms, again, we have our Pega Academy, where you'll go in and you'll see that they will give you an exercise. That's the one that's in orange. And they'll give you detailed tasks that you need to do step by step with pictures to do that. So it's very, very helpful. So it helps you understand the platform, gives you basic concepts. Now, most of the exercises are not very, very difficult. So you'll see that we'll send you to the community edition. We may give you an extra lab to go out. Now, write this on your own because we want you to truly understand and master that particular skill. But this gives you basic understanding about Pega. And then, of course, we have the ReadyTech platform. That's where we'll go in, put you guys into teams, work on a project so you understand how to implement projects and solutions in Pega. Certifications. As we're going through, sometimes our activities will lead us to, let's focus on our certifications. Well, we know what to focus on because our material, learning material, it's going to follow the certification blueprint. So we're going to only teach you what you need to know based upon the certification blueprint and what you need to know, as Ufuk will tell you, from a skill perspective. So you get both of those. And there's a lot of information in Pega, but this helps us focus on exactly what you need to learn for the certification, what skill is associated with that, and if there's additional skill, you'll learn that from your project. Study guides, we've already generated study guides for you to study from, but we also make you write your own study guide. So that's going to be real helpful for you to truly understand the definition, description of a particular artifact that you're trying to implement, the use case for that artifact, along with how do I navigate to it and how do I configure it. If you can answer all of that, and it's for each one of these blueprint topics, then you'll absolutely pass certification. So it's just work to be done. It's exercise, it's work to be done. So we got those student guides for you. And then here's our exciting practice exams. Completely AI generated. We looked at the blueprint, the percentages for each topic. We told our AI tools, go out and find us questions, multiple choice, multiple answer, choices and make it based upon the percentages of the exact test, and that's what it generated for us. And it gives you not only the questions, but it gives you the answers. Gives you the answers as to why it was right and why it was wrong. So it's a very extensive that we go through to make sure that you pass the certification the very first time. So what is it that we're asking you to achieve at the end of this course? 2 certifications, 1 in business, 1 in technical, 5 digital badges in the Pega ecosystem for a business architect, low-code apps builder, low-code apps builder extended. That goes with the business portion, data and integration essentials, and business architect. Those are the 5 digital badges that you will achieve as you go through this program, along with your 2 certifications. And then from a AI perspective, you'll go through the AWS training and certification. You'll go through and achieve the art of possibility for generative AI. How do you ready your organization or work within an organization building a generative AI organization? How do you plan for a project using AI? And Amazon Q has more to do with some of the programming and database concepts that are there for AI. So those are certificates in artificial intelligence. All right, so at this point, that's my presentation. I think I'm about 10 minutes early, so that's about a 10-minute break that we should have taken. But let me open it up to questions. Does anyone have any questions? And if so, give me just a second. Let me change my language setting so that if you ask the question, I can read it. So let's see how this works. Give me just a second here. I'm going to change the spoken to
Ok,
Spanish.
chicos, pues se llegó a la sección de preguntas y respuestas. Y bueno, pueden hacerlas en español porque él del otro lado está configurando para que él entienda en inglés, ¿no? Si alguno de ustedes la quiere poner en el chat, por favor, háganlo. Okay, Daryl, I have one question on the chat.
Oh, okay. Let's see. With 8 years of history.
Además, hagan sus preguntas en el chat, por favor. O háganlas tomando la palabra también. La pueden decir en español y del otro lado se traduce. Entonces, por favor.
Give me just a second.
Sí fueron leyendo ahí la traducción. Digo, la IA intenta hacer una traducción, pero pues hay cosas que se le van, ¿no? Hay algunas cosas que no están o al 100%, pero creo que la idea general sí está, y si van desarrollando la habilidad de su oído con el inglés, pues van a ir entendiendo, van a ir asociando lo que dijo en inglés con lo que está en español y ya de ahí sacar su significado, ¿no? Y lo bueno de todo esto, como ya explicó, todo el material va a estar en diferentes plataformas, en Pega Academy, también hay opción de que esté en español. Todo el material va a estar disponible para poderlo ver, ¿no? Así es que José Juan ya puso por aquí su duda. ¿Alguien más? Pregunten, chicos, sobre salarios, qué otra certificación hay, etcétera, etcétera, ¿no? alguien que pregunte sobre las empresas y hay proyectos que están aceptando a estudiantes que sean certificados, cuál es la posibilidad de que den empleo, etcétera, etcétera. Hay muchas preguntas. Ahorita estamos en la sección de preguntas y respuestas. Y como les decía, intenten traducirlo en inglés, usen sus traductores que tienen ahí en su computadora, sus ChatGPT o usen DeepL y pongan la pregunta que están haciendo, pónganla en inglés, para que también sea más práctico para el instructor hacer la traducción. Okay. You are answering the question at the chat, right, Larry?
Yes. So tell
Perfect.
them to put it in the chat and then I'll talk about it. That'll be quicker.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So if you would go ahead and put your questions in the chat, then I'll go ahead and talk about that. It's a little bit easier that way for me. I may have to convert those that are in Spanish to English in the chat, but that's okay. I can do that with my translator.
Okay. Yeah, I told them that they can use some translate like DeepL or ChatGPT to translate because it's more easy for you, no?
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to capture this. See, usually let me capture stuff in the chat. Let's see, what is this?
Bueno, chicos, ahí ya les están contestando.
You know what? It is not letting me cut and paste from the chat. That's
Cuando les
weird.
contesten una pregunta, pónganle manita arriba ahí a la respuesta, por favor, para que vayan sabiendo los instructores que ya han contestado su pregunta, ¿no? Ahí ya contestaron acerca del salario y el instructor Ufuk está también contestando.
Okay, got it. Okay, so for Jose, let's see, you asked the question, given the rapid evolution of generative AI, What is the program strategy to prepare architects not only to use the tool, such as prompting, but to mitigate the risk of AI bias or hallucination when designing critical business solutions in Pega? Very good question. So there's been a lot of conversation around the hallucinating of AI. And of course, biases, there are definitely biases there that we see when it comes to race and numbers associated with that. What Pega has done is what everyone else has done. You've heard of something called RAG, R-A-G. These are guardrails. People are talking about how do we build guardrails around it so that we can minimize or mitigate the hallucination effect. And so Pega has done the same thing. Guardrails are the big item of the day. RAG, if you guys look that up, RAG, that's what it is, but that's what they're doing. And as Pega keeps evolving, they keep up with what's going on current with the technology. OpenAI, Anthropic, all of those big companies. Google, you guys use Gemini or Claude, then all of those are moving more towards mitigating the hallucinating of these AI tools by using the guardrails. Okay, let's see, let's go to Carol. Copy and paste here. What types of projects are mostly done? So the one big project that we typically do is a project where you are building a university solution for students who want to apply for a exchange program. Now, the reason we do that is for several reasons. It's going to touch every major building component in technology in Pega. So number one, you got to build a UI. But also while you build that UI, it's probably multiple UIs. You got to build a UI from an administrator. So we call that a portal. You got to build a UI for the students themselves. You have to build a UI for the exchange of emails in the background going from one to the other. So there is a functionality in Pega where we put a wait state in our case. We call it a case, but in our solution, we have to wait for a reply to come back. We have a level of approvals of, we look at, well, who all needs to approve this? We have it generate documents, generate PDFs and things of that nature. Of course, we have to create a data model. We have to write to a database, read from a database. We make sure that all of the major concepts, connectors and services, which are key and germane to what you need to learn each day on a daily basis, that you actually learn that. So in this particular class, in order for you to learn that in Pega, you would have to take that BAE course, that SAE course, that SSA course, but you still wouldn't have project experience. Here, we're bringing in the project experience for you to make sure that you work on a team. And I promise you, you take the Pega technology, they can't afford to have a LSA like Ufuk teach a class. That person needs to be working all day. Well, Ufuk and we're partners, and part of our teaching strategy is to have someone like him who works every day in building solutions to show you how to build them the right way. So we do this because we know that's the right way for you guys to learn. So hopefully that answered your question, Carol. All right, let's see. All right, so there is a question that says, can you share examples of projects where Pega's low-code technology solved the business solution? Absolutely. I can tell you the most interesting one for me. Most of you guys have heard of American Express, the credit card. You get a credit card, members only, that's their slogan. Well, American Express has what's called a dispute system. That dispute system says, hey, I purchased something, I disagree with it, and therefore I need it resolved. Well, what does that entail? Number one, that means that in the Pega technology or any other software technology, that you have to set up a interface for the disputer. I'm disputing it. All right. So I have to go through a workflow of saying, well, what am I disputing? What is the item? How much did it cost? Why am I disputing it? So we have to put that out in the database. The other part of that is there's core logic that says once that's complete, then I need to identify the merchant and send a request to the merchant and put like a service level agreement, SLA, a time bound for a response, 30 days. That says, now, why did that, why did you send that to them and why did you charge that? Or what was that? And then from that, I have to have low code logic. And now they've built in the AI to do analysis of who's right, who's wrong, based upon policies, Pega rules that are set in place to say, here's the criteria. So there are no people looking at it. It's AI driven. It's predictive analytics. It's generative AI. They're looking at this and they're saying, okay, here's the solution. And from that, now they're going to send messaging out to both of those parties. And of course, if both parties accept it, now it's complete. But if it's not, then they have to go back through phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. Well, Pega was able to work with American Express to implement this system, and it's one code base, but it handles transactions and financial transactions all over the world. So one code base, think about that. Think about that. One code base handles the world's transactions, whether it's in French or pounds or pesos or US dollars. It's one code base. And based upon the type of transaction, where it originated from, what region, and the translation of, well, maybe I purchased it in Europe, but my bank is in the United States, it's able to solve that. So if you think about that, that's a big problem. That's a big solution, not a problem. That's a big solution. And they did it in Pega. So I don't want you guys to ever get the idea that Pega is for small solutions. When I worked for Pega, the sales team would only target a business if they had $500 million in assets. So think about that. Where do you find Pega? Pega is found in all of the big banks. I have taught at all of the banks in the United States, in Canada. I have taught at Morgan Stanley, American Express, Chase, Chase, let's see, Wells Fargo, all of those big banks, all of those financial institutions. I had mentioned earlier in Brazil, Sandesto, huge bank, financial institution. By the way, Amazon, Apple, AWS, Google, they all use Pega. They all use Pega. Pega is not a front end, a customer product. It's a B2B. It's a back end product. So all major companies that want to optimize their development processes, minimize, what should I say, as they update their versions, they do it with Pega. Okay. All right, so let's see, here's, I think Ufuk answered something, so thank you, Ufuk. Okay. Thank you, Ufuk. Ufuk answered again. Ufuk, thank you, Ufuk. Okay, so it says, what soft skills do you recommend strengthening in addition to technical ones to stand out in business? And yeah, so that's very important. I think Ufuk answered it, but you guys really do. You really need to know the lingo. We'll talk about terminology all the time, but when you go through building your study guide, that's going to help you more than anything else, because it's going to tell you the use case, when to use something, be able to describe it from a business perspective. You have to understand how to translate business terms into technical solutions in Pega. And the other things, now, we don't really focus on this, but you need to focus on it. Ask your university to help you. You need to practice interviewing. Okay? And we can give you some interview questions. That's not a problem. We've done that before. I work with Richard and work with Jose Luis. We can give you interview questions, but you guys need to sit for the interviews, work with each other. Matter of fact, that might be a good thing that we do as we build a team. You start doing interviewing over these different components. And maybe that's something that we can definitely add. But you guys really need to learn how to speak in an interview, be thorough, because you'll end up knowing the skill, but you'll have to know how to communicate that. Ufuk, thank you. Ufuk is answering. All right, so it looks like Ufuk has answered a lot of your questions also. Again, he's well versed in the technology, works on it day in, day out. Does anyone else have any more questions?
¿Tienen más preguntas, jóvenes? Como ya dijo, hay algunas que ya está contestando Ufuk, otras las está complementando Darryl. Y yo creo que todas las respuestas que están ahí son bastante buenas, ¿eh? ¿Alguien más que quiera hacer otras preguntas? No se queden con dudas, como quiera que sea, al rato en la sesión de la tarde. Los lunes y los días que tenemos 2 veces por día va a ser un poco pesado, pero al inicio, ya después nos vamos a acostumbrar. Así es que en el momento que tengan preguntas, háganlo. Si no lo quieren hablar, pueden ponerlo aquí en el chat y con gusto se les va a responder. I think there are no more questions.
All right, let's see. We have 15 more minutes, so
Okay.
let me look in the chat. I'm at the bottom. Well, am I?
Tenemos
Make sure
todavía
I'm going the
minutos,
right way.
todavía jóvenes, ¿eh? Tenemos todavía unos minutitos. Ahorita quiero que prendamos todos su cámara para sacar un screenshot. Darryl, at the end of your presentation, we need that everyone's turn on the webcam, because I need to make a screenshot as a proof of this test, of this course.
Got it. I will do that right now.
¿Pueden encender toda su cámara, por favor? How can I show all the
Yeah, what I'll do is
okay, perfect.
I'll actually make the screenshot for you. You don't have to worry about it. I'll make the screenshot for you every day.
¿Pueden
a
poner los
second.
demás su cámara, por favor? Todos, encenderla. Qué bonito nos vemos todos.
Give me just a second. I'll have to make 2 screenshots because it's too big.
Maestra Daniela, ¿preguntas? ¿Todo bien?
Okay, we got 1 screenshot. Give me one more chance here to make the other screenshot. Just a second. Hey, here's the. Okay, so I've captured it. I've captured both screenshots.
Okay.
So I'll send that to
one
you.
One more, please.
One more.
One
Okay.
more.
Hold on just a second.
1, 2, 3. Very good.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Sounds good. Good.
¿Más preguntas, jóvenes? Ya se quieren ir a desayunar.
So Ufa, are you saying something? You're on mute. No? Okay.
Ufuk, you are in Sweden or in Germany now?
I'm in Switzerland, in Zurich.
Switzerland. Okay. Perfect. So what time is there?
It's 8 p.m.
8. Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Escucharon, son las 8 de la noche ya.
Sí, a las noche. 8 de las noche.
¿Hablas español un poco?
Un poquito, pero me faltan las palabras. Hace 20 años que no hablo ninguna palabra, por eso. Si hablas como una máquina, no, no entiendo.
Sí, sí. Aquí tienes toda una plataforma para que hables español. Para
Sí,
que practiques.
eso es bien.
Okay. Very good, Daryl.
All right, good. Sounds good. So I think we've answered all the questions. Right? Answered all the questions. So what are the next steps? So what's next?
Yes.
All right. So after this session, expect a new WebEx invite for our 6 p.m. session for today. So I'll get that sent out within the next hour or 2.
Okay.
And number 2 is expect an email. I'll send an email with instructions on how to create a Pega account and a link to access all the learning materials.
Okay.
So you'll see the learning materials will drop you into this ITSM OneDrive, and you'll see a list of all of the folders. I'll talk about this in detail this evening, what those folders are and how we're going to proceed. Now, before we come to class, I want to make sure everyone gets this. Before we come to class, create your Pega account. Okay. So again, before we come to class, create your Pega account. I will send out the email within the hour. When we hang up, I'll send it out. In there, it will give you instructions on how to create the Pega account. I'll send a PDF, and there's a movie, a small little movie file that you can watch also. But I need everyone to have their Pega account set up. We're going to confirm that at 6 p.m. You'll be able to access the OneDrive. And once those are set up, shoot me an email, reply back to me to let me know that you have your Pega account set up and that you can get into the OneDrive. Jose Luis, you're on mute.
Sorry. Jóvenes ya están ahí enterados, tienen que sacar su cuenta en Pega y más tarde les va a mandar la liga. Eso lo tienen que tener antes de las 6 de la tarde. Es muy fácil, muy fácil. Les va a enviar en un correo el enlace y un PDF de cómo se saca, ¿no? O sea, hay que tenerlo listo para la tarde. Ok, David.
Sounds good. All right, that's all I have for this session. Thank you again for your time and attention. I look forward to working with each one of you. Remember, the goal is for you to accomplish all that we set out for you to do. 2 certifications, SSA skill level by the projects, those become very important. The digital certifications that you get and the 4 AI certificates that you're going to achieve. So work hard. It's a lot of work, but we want you guys to learn, be successful. It gives you the capability to then be in the position, the best position to be placed for a job in Pega Technology. God bless you. Look forward to working with each of you, and I'll see you this evening. Bye now.
Ok, Daryl. Daryl Rufuk, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Gracias a todos por conectarse y pues nada, chicos, a darle. Despídanse ahí de los instructores. Nos vemos al rato.
All right, and Ufuk, thank you for staying up late. And
Thank you, Ufuk.
definitely don't worry about coming for tonight because that's like 3 a.m. in the morning. So.
Yeah, thank you. At least, yeah.
Ándale, pongan aplausitos, eso.
Yes.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Adiós, bye-bye.
Adiós, adiós. Chao. Gracias, chicos. Nos vemos en la tarde.
All right, stop the recording. Stop the sharing. Okay. Exit.